Hello, I'm with Jan-Wold, Pastor Jan-Wold, who is a pastor in the Danish Union of Churches, and he has a very interesting story to tell about an innovative way in which he is trying to reach Danish people. Jan, what are you doing?
Webkirke, or Webkirke in Danish. It's an initiative that started under COVID times, where people couldn't come to church. And we thought, well, why don't we make a digital church? We searched on the domain for a domain, and wow, the domain web church was available. I couldn't believe it. So we quickly registered it, and we started to produce some kind of church service as a replica of the service they knew from the local church. That's where it all started.
So you started by reproducing as a replica from the local church.
Right.
But that's not really where you were heading, was it?
No. We started with actually an offering and a children's story and the whole setup in a way. But we suddenly found out that other people that didn't belong to the church, they were viewers on the program. And they liked it. And when COVID sort of starting to drizzle off, we thought, well, should we continue or should we stop? And we decided that we need to continue this because we are not doing any kind of systematic digital church work as it is anyway. So let's carry on.
For our listeners and viewers then, this is not a church service that is streamed.
No, it's not. We are actually the only digital outlet, Christian outlet in Denmark that make something from me to you directly. There are a lot of churches, they do streaming. You can tune in and you can participate in a session. But why would I intend a church on stream in a different part of the country? I never set my foot, So when we make a service that is intended for everybody in Denmark, I think that's the way we're doing it.
A digital church service you create every week specifically to broadcast to people in Denmark who may not connect with the net-based church.
Yes, that's right. And it has been rather a challenge, I would say, to create this in a language that other people can relate to. I mean, people that doesn't know the language of the Adventist church.
So again, you're taking a step closer to the community. You're trying to get rid of the religious jargon, the in-house jargon, and you're sensitive that you're trying to communicate with people in terms they understand.
Yes, it's like we want to do the bare metal Christian message,
Okay.
And a lot of Adventists, they ask, what about the rest? Aren't we giving them more or something, But that is left for another thing, another event or another something, But we do the basic where we try to uplift people in Denmark with the Christian faith that we all share. And if we can be known as Adventists, that we can actually support and create something that other Christians feel is all right to view and participate in, then I think we are happy.
And what's the reaction been so far?
Reaction has been fantastic. There's upticking trend of viewers. And if you compare it to our congregation in Denmark, I mean, it's at least 3 times the size of the biggest church we have in Denmark. So we receive emails from various parts of the country, people that doesn't come to church. For example, somebody saying, it's 20 years since I attended a church, and now I feel I can sort of be back again.
Yeah.
I was kicked out of my church, and now I feel that they might say they are kicked out, but human factors,
Yes.
And here they can just be who they are. They can be in the church, sitting in bed, in the sofa. You don't have to get dressed to attend church suddenly.
You're creating a church to reach people where they're at in terms of their faith,
Right.
and at the same time, you're creating community.
Right. Right. So it's a bit odd. Some people feel it's a bit odd to talk about a digital fellowship. But if you ask the 15 years old, I mean, they know what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
It is a kind of fellowship, and we don't only limit it to the broadcast. We try to do also some podcasts and try to connect it to the correspondence school with some courses, and we're also hoping to start some Bible Zoom where you can interact not physical, but two-way communication with people reading the Bible. So try to put that under the umbrella of a web church, because the web church will actually be the digital community for people that don't really come to church on a physical basis.
So from your side and your team, there's a lot of commitment, because to create a worship service in a live church takes a lot of effort and planning. If it's going to be worship with excellence, that takes a lot of your time up. And
well, yeah, it has actually shown that a lot of people in Denmark in our churches have been engaged in producing music and being a host for the program and doing stories and preaching. And so it has shown that a lot of people have suddenly found a way of committing resources in a digital area.
Yeah.
And I think that's been fantastic to see the response among the churches. And the fact that you can record anywhere, and you can send off the files, and you can stitch it together, and you can produce it and deliver it on YouTube. It's all on YouTube.
And how would you like to see this develop in future?
More viewers, of course, like that. Stories about people being blessed by listening and seeing, and a variation of different offerings. I mean, different service we can offer for the people that kind of sustain this kind of digital awareness of a church, a digital church. And that is not the streaming. I mean, streaming is fine, and a lot of streaming takes place, and that's fantastic. But it's made for those people that know the physical church, and they would like to attend by the computer if they can, but they know the place. But here we're not in a certain place. We make it in a studio, and we make it from A to B. So
I wish you well, and I really do, because I think it's a very interesting and innovative project, trying to connect the people where they are in their circumstances at this life stage of their faith development, and pray that it'll draw them closer to the church which we want them to be.
of course.
Thank you for sharing this with TD News, and thank you for watching this edition.